जय श्री माता जी। हम सभी श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में प्रणाम करके अपनी कुंडलिनी उठाकर बंधन लेंगे। We will all bow down at the lotus feet of Shri Mata Ji, raise our kundalini and put ourselves in bandhan.
माता नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः।
जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति। तू ही जगत पिता तू ही परम पिता तू ही जगत पिता तू ही परम पिता। सबके तुम्हें रखवाले तुम हो सभी के सहारे। जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति। तुम ज्ञान हृदय में जगाते तुम ध्यान में नित आते। तुम ज्ञान हृदय में जगाते तुम ध्यान में नित आते। जिसे सुमिर सभी बिसरे न कभी जिसे सुमिर सभी बिसरे न कभी। तुम्हें ऐसे तिलक करे। जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति जय जय गणपति। सदा तेरा वंदन निश दिन, माथे लगे तेरा चंदन निश दिन। कष्ट मिटा के मेरा तुम दूर कर दो अंधेरा, हर कष्ट मिटा के मेरा तुम दूर कर दो अंधेरा। तुम्हें कोटि नमन तन मन अर्पण, तुम्हें कोटि नमन तन मन अर्पण। तुम्हारे चरणों में पले जय जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति, जय जय गणपति। तू ही जगत पिता, तू ही परम पिता, तू ही जगत पिता, तू ही परम पिता। सबके तुम ही रखवाले, तुम हो सभी के सहारे। जय जय गणपति, 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 जय जय गणपति। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। भक्ति गम्या माता जी, भक्ति ज्ञान सिखा देना। भक्ति गम्या माता जी, भक्ति ज्ञान सिखा देना। बात मेरी निर्मला देवी, निर्मल धर्म बैठा देना। बात मेरी निर्मला देवी, निर्मल धर्म बता देना। हमें अपनी शरण में ले लो माता, अपनी शरण में ले लो माता। राज करे ज्ञान मात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान, मात निर्मला देवी। जी। मैं बालक हूँ तेरा माता, आप हो मेरी विधाता जी। मैं बालक हूँ तेरा माता, आप हो मेरी विधाता जी। तुम सारे विश्व की ज्ञाता माता, सारे विश्व की ज्ञाता माता। देना हमको ज्ञान बात निर्मला देवी, ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। मानव को तारण के खातिर कलयुग में अवतार लिया। मानव को तारण के खातिर कलयुग में अवतार लिया। वेद शास्त्र सब बता दिए, कुंडलिनी को जगा दिया। वेद शास्त्र सब बता दिए, कुंडलिनी को जगा दिया। तूने दिया सहारा सभी को माता, दिया सहारा सभी को माता। निर्धन या धनवान बात निर्मला देवी, ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। सुख प्रदा माँ जगदम्बा एकाकी में, महामाया माँ सुख प्रदा। चेतन लहरे भर दो मुझ में है मेरी माता वरदा। चेतन लहरे भर दो मुझ में है मेरी माता वरदा। मैं आप बिना क्या कर सकता, आप बिना क्या कर सकता। दे दो भक्ति का ज्ञान बात निर्मला देवी, ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। ऐसा दो हमें ज्ञान रहे तेरे चरणों में ध्यान बात निर्मला देवी। अरे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। अरे मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा जय माँ बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा जय माँ बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। माहे जल में माहे थल में, माहे जल में माहे थल में, आते क्यों ना तेरी अकल में। आते क्यों ना तेरी अकल में। बेशक घूमे जा तू वन में, बेशक घूमे जा तू वन में। शिव बिन शक्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। माहे सत्य मात ही सुंदर, माहे सत्य मात ही सुंदर। तो वह क्यों ना घट के अंदर, तो वह क्यों ना घट के अंदर। मन तेरा बना नहीं जो मंदिर, मन तेरा बना नहीं जो मंदिर। माँ के भक्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। दया में माँ बसे धर्म में, दया में माँ बसे धर्म में। मनवाणी माँ बसे कर्म में, मनवाणी माँ बसे कर्म में। बंदे हो लोलीन परम में, बंदे हो लोलीन परम में। माँ बिन तृप्ति कहाँ मिले। रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। अमर खंडा माँ विनाशी, अमर खंडा माँ विनाशी। निर्मल माँ घट घट के वासे, निर्मल माँ घट घट के वासे। बेशक बन साधु संन्यासी, बेशक बन साधु संन्यासी। ज्ञान बिन वृत्ति कहाँ मिले। है मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल, भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले। बुरी दुनियादारी की होड़ करे क्यों धन माया की होड़ करे क्यों धन माया की होड़ एक दिन सब कुछ जावे छोड़ एक दिन सब कुछ जावे छोड़ होड़ में वृत्ति कहाँ मिले रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे मनवा निर्मल निर्मल बोल भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले अरे मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे मनवा जय माँ बोल भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे मनवा जय माँ बोल भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले रे मनवा जय माँ बोल भजन बिन मुक्ति कहाँ मिले।
इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अब हम सब श्री माता जी की अमृत वाणी को सुनेंगे। In this meditative state, let us now listen to Shri Mataji's Amrit Vani.
Sorry for this delay, but today there's something great luck for us. A gentleman has come from Delhi with the plans of our ashram in Delhi, and within 2-3 days we could make another plan, a much better plan for Delhi people. And he came to see us this evening, and I had to discuss it with him, and I'm sure he'll manage it very well. And he's invited Alan to go to India, and he's going to look after Alan there, and he's going to make him stay in India, where Alan is going to work out the whole thing. So let's give a hand to Alan. It's very God sent. We must understand again the Rutambara Pragya is working out. Let him be seated somewhere. Where's the guest we have? Can you give a room somewhere to him?
It's a different one.
Huh?
It's not the same.
Where is he sitting?
He's there. Would you ask Arun to come in?
Let him be seated somewhere. So, it was pointed out by Warren that he'll have to work here for 2 years. He cannot practice as an architect, and he has to put so much money to insure, and all kinds of problems are here. And suddenly today we find somebody who is willing to take him up in India and send him abroad, and all those things are there. So we can imagine how things work out for him. But there should be dedication and understanding about Sahajog, first of all. That's very important. Now today, in the beginning of the whole thing, I don't want to say something that will not make you happy. Today is a day of great happiness and joy, and that we have to know that Christ came on this earth to deliver us from our sins and our karmas, and it was such a sacrifice. He went into which we cannot see or visualize with human understanding. It was too much for a person who was so powerful to get into a position where he had to forget that he was so powerful and go through all that and treated just like an ordinary person. It was too much, but he did it just because that drama was to be played, because Agya Chakra was to be opened up. But we have to understand that though he has done all that, our karmas are being taken away, as you know. That as soon as the Kundalini is awakened, you know that Kundalini cannot be awakened if your karmas are clean. You cannot. That's why in the olden days people used to go to Himalayas and all those far-fetched places, used to clean their karmas, clean their bodies, clean everything. And then they used to get awakening of the Kundalini, they used to get realization. But the way we have got realization, thanks to Christ, that Agya Chakra could be opened out and that I could manage that. But we do not realize that once that is done, that means you are now entitled to get your realization because of your Agya Chakra being opened out, that your Sastara can be opened out. But the punishment of the karmas has been taken away. You have been given such a higher position that you suddenly become saints. And you get all the knowledge that saints cannot have about Sahaja, about the Shuddha Vidya, the Nirmal Vidya. You get all the knowledge also. But the problem is, I find, that we have certain special problems belonging to the special countries also. And my attention has been on England very much, you know that. And I have really worked here very hard. 10 years I have worked here. And for English Sahajogis, it is important to understand what are they lacking in. It's just our own understanding of ourselves, which should be done with proper critical eye, so that we understand what is our problem. Of course, the karmas have been forgiven, you can see that. No problem of the karmas are there. But the problem that exists within us is also a little bit from this country itself. The first is that this is a country of Tamoguna, because it is in a very high altitude placed and it is very cold country and people are used to drinking and all those things. So the generations have done that. So it has gone into more Tamogunas. And now it is so saturated that Tamoguna, when once upon a time it was on the right side, now it has gone onto the left side, because the whole saturation of that drinking and all those things have brought this Tamoguna to settle down in this country. So the first problem is of Tamoguna. And Tamoguna makes you, with your intelligence, explain everything, whatever you do. So the intelligence has a capacity to cheat itself. So the intelligence tells you, see now, all right, if we have to get up in the morning, that may be all right in India, but in England it may be too much. That's special intelligence, you see. And then, the progress compared to other people becomes slow, despite mother is working so hard here. The second thing is that tamogunis, you see, because they have to live with their tamogun, they become very shallow. And their depth is missing because they are on the other side of it. And they do not touch their depth, so they can live very superficial, you see. Whatever they do, they don't feel anything. They are not ashamed of it, they are not touched by it, whatever it is. At the most they blame a bhoot somewhere, that's all. But otherwise, in a shallow way one lives. They do not touch it that much where they should touch because of tamoguna. Now as it is, this is the heart of the universe. And a person who has a heart is the most deep personality. Because you see, doing with the heart. Anything done with the heart means you are all out for it. But just the other way around it is, that sometimes when we are shallow, there is no heart, nothing. We do something without the heart. Now as you have seen in the Ashtanga Yogas, there is many times I have said Ishvara Pranidhan is the first. Now what is Ishvara Pranidhan? We must understand it. Ishvara Pranidhan is the establishment of God in your heart. Now how do you do it? You see a mantra. You are just saying it outwardly. You are clearing out outwardly. You are meditating outwardly. But when you are saying that, you are just using your right side or your left side, but not your heart. So what you have to do is to balance both. When you are saying something, say it with devotion, with dedication, with understanding. And try to put it in your heart. That whatever I am saying is a mantra given to me by Adi Shakti herself. So is a mantra very powerful. But the mantras also lose their powers if you do not have the Ishvara Pranidhan. That means your Ishvara must be established in your heart. And this is what we lack, is that when we do something we just do outwardly in a shallow way. And if you are shallow, you will be playing with yourself. And playing games is a very common thing with us. Because you see people with tamasa, what else will they do? I mean, they are lazy lumps. So the mind has to be used. You see, mind doesn't stop, isn't it? It's working all the time. And we are lazy, doing nothing. So the mind plays on its own. And then we should understand that this mind is the one that makes you shallow. We make faces as if we are very happy before mother, or something like that, or we say we are very, this thing we have achieved, this and that, supposing. But she knows. So what we have to do is to feel what we want to say, what we have to do. That is Ishvara Pranidhan. It should not be superficial. I have seen people, oh mother, this, that. But this is just coming from the lips only sometimes. It should come from the heart. Try to feel that. You will see the joy will be much more. You are trying to give me joy. You try to give yourself that joy. But that's what you are feeling within your heart. Try to feel that in your heart. Then the Ishvara Pranidhana is established. But this is one of the problems, is the tamasa. But when they were aggressive in this country, when they had aggression, see, they created another problem, is to sort of condition our minds. This also we should face it directly. Especially for Britishers, it is important to face that. Very important, because I have been noticing it is happening. Now what happens? Supposing you are an aggressor, means what do you do? I mean, see, in a stark way, just forget that you are Britisher, just go away from it. You just think like this, that this is your house, then you become quite healthy, hefty, and you go and attack another person, drive him out of his house, stay there nicely for 300 years. It is that. As simple as that. That's what the forefathers have done here. And they have conditioned our mind. Means what have you done? That means you have no respect for anybody else's country. Simple as that. That they showed no respect for anybody else's life. To them, they were the ones, they could occupy other countries, they could capture other countries, live there, dominate them. But as a result of that, the conditioning is still in the minds. Because when we live, say, in the ashram now, I was very happy to know that the ashram of Brighton is looking so much better. People are looking after it. It's a very big thing. That shows that you respect that place, which is a holy place. You are looking after it. Otherwise, formerly the ashram was this, that the bills would rise so high that everybody became bankrupt with that. Everything was broken, everything was thrown away. They lived the way they liked, all the lights were on all the time, or the fire was on, this happened, that happened. I mean, impossible to put them together in any place. It was like that. So today I was so happy to learn that there's an ashram where people respect. So to be more on the right side, we should know, do we respect others' properties? This is not others, this is mother's property. I mean, you give them any sofa set, after 10 days you go and see it's all broken, finished, ready there. Anything, it used to happen like that. Now, this should come, that we have to respect. We have to respect now the property, which is, first of all, started with Sahaja Yoga property. And then it will start with others. We have to respect. Then another conditioning that we have from the society, we must face it. It's very funny, is this, that nobody respects anybody's wife or anybody's husband. They are married, but their eyes will be on somebody's wife, somebody's sister. And how can you do that? See to the subtle side, because now you have become subtler people. And you must see these problems exist in our country. That we have got this conditioning, around us is all this going on. Somebody's wife is going with somebody's husband. No respect. They are married people. How can you carry on with somebody's wife or somebody's husband? Just think of the society in which we live, isn't it? Now somebody is married to someone. Now you cannot carry on with a person who belongs to somebody else. It's a simple thing like that. But it's on. You see, in the society, we live in that kind of a society. I mean, every day we hear such news. I mean, it is shocking sometimes. So we have to face the problems with which we are living. Like Indians have their own problems and they are horrid on that line. So we have to face our problems. So first of all, we have to know that we must establish Ishvara Pranidhananda. Sahaja Yoga cannot be established by people who are shallow, who are superficial in Sahaja. Some people think they can play about. They feel happy, by disturbing the ashramites, by talking against the ashram people about Sahaja Yogis. Many have seen. Sahaja Yogis are horrid, as if other people are better. They go on like that, see, playing. But what is the thing? They lose. They are the losers. They don't understand this. By doing this kind of a thing, you are the loser. Whom are you playing with? You are playing against with yourself. Those people who try to criticize Sahaja Yogis must know that they are cutting themselves out of Sahaja Yoga. And this is just they're playing games, you see, and this should not be allowed. Nobody should criticize Sahajogis, which is a group. One individual Sahajogi is doing wrong, I will know. So it is very important that you should be accepted by the group. If you are an individual, think you are a great personality and you are trying to correct others and say that the Sahajogis are bad and the ashram is bad and do like that. Then you must know you are getting out of Sahajogi. Very soon you will be out. So one should not try these things. And taking sides with newcomers. When the newcomers come in, you are more attached to the newcomers than to the Sahajogis, then be sure you are not there. That's one of the way you can judge. Are you with the collectivity or are you trying to get out of it and trying to control all the rest of them? Alright? This is one of the ways of understanding yourself. All such tricks will put you out of Sahajoga. And I think this is what Pluto is working out now. So be very careful. It's nice to celebrate, but spirituality is purity. If your heart is not pure, you will be thrown. Pluto is purity. And purity has one quality, that it is very joy-giving. It's glorious to be pure, to be innocent. But it also means that many things have to be dropped out, and those who don't drop out will be dropped out with those things. So I want to warn you that it's a very good day that has started today. But this is the problem we'll be facing now. So be very careful, don't play games with Sahajoga. Clean your heart. This is for few people I know who are doing these things. I know about every one of them. So those who are against collectivity will be immediately dropped off. And then even if they want to come back, they cannot. That can be arranged. So try to be one with the group. Try to have better friendship, better relationship, better brotherhood, greater love, greater affection, complete understanding. Enjoy each other. That's the best way. Sahajogis should enjoy each other, not the others. Others are others till they come to us. Remember that. In the eyes of God, others are others. Sahajogis are His people. Others are not important at all. If they come, well and good. Of course, one should not be harsh with them. Be kindly, nice, bring them along. But in a group, you are to be one. Then there should be no differentiation. I mean, that is one of the qualities the English had once upon a time. When Calais was invaded, at the time of Queen Elizabeth, the Catholics and the Roman Catholics and the Protestants all joined together, forgetting their differences. I hope you remember those good qualities of the English also. And that's what one has to understand, that when we are facing others, we are all one. And this is, I am telling you again, the unity is extremely important for the strength of Sahajoga. Those who try to correct the Sahajogis all the time are really trying to play into the hands of Satan. They are doing no good to Sahajoga. Be careful of such people. They will be thrown away. They will lose their vibrations and you will find them out. So Sahajoga, as it is a very great force of getting people together, also there is a force that is working which is throwing out. Because here, only those who will improve will become higher and higher, will be acceptable. There is no other criteria, you know that. Those who become purer and purer are accepted are Sahajogis. We are all Sahajogis here sitting down. But all of you have to become better and better and better. The first thing that will happen, that you will be clear-headed. What I find is that Tamogunis have no clear head. First thing, I call somebody, X, Mr. X, come along. Or a lady comes to me. The first reaction is she puts up her head like this, with a barrier. So now I'll say that, see, this carpet is to be, say, cleaned up. What? Which one? Where? I said this carpet is to be cleaned. Another question starts. You go on telling 10 answers, but nothing goes, there's a barrier. Nothing goes into it. They just don't understand. Now how to explain anything to such people? There is no clear-headedness. The whole head is clouded. You see, with a barrier, it doesn't want to take anything in there. So all my lectures are nothing but a sing-song, I think. Nothing goes in the head. So first of all, the purity of heart. You know that the heart has got 7 chakras around it, the 7 auras. And when the heart is clean, the light is clean, the sastra becomes clean, absolutely. First is that complete dedication of the heart should be there. That I am going to be perfectly alright and I am going to be an ideal surgeon. It is my responsibility. Then all this will go away. Because this muddled head business, I think they hear 50%, 25% they forget, and 25% is lost. So what do they understand what I talk to them? So this kind of a barrier is a fashion also. It's a fashion. I have noticed it's a fashion in this country, especially. Because if you tell them something, there's no need, but first they'll repeat my question. This is the question. Right, this is the question. I said, what is your name? You said, what is my name? I said, yes, what is your name? Oh, do you mean I didn't understand that? Oh, I said, what's your name? We'll go on like that. And by that they think they have been very sophisticated. It's a new English style, I think. Some French have nonsensical ideas about sophistication, but English sophistication I can't understand. What is sophistication in this? Then while talking they'll say 10 times, I can't understand. Why? Why can't you speak straightforward thing, what is to be said? Now you must train up. Imagine a Saj Yogi standing up to give a lecture with many Then they'll think they are saying some mantras or what? So one has to understand in Saj, you have to become very dignified, decent, pure people. The purity is the point we have to say. Now out of say 100, even if 20 are like that, muddled headed, it creates a bad impression. What will others think? That these muddle-headed people, what are they going to do? How are they saints? I mean, imagine a saint like this. You are saints, no doubt, but little saint, no saint, saints, no saints like that. So important for 20% people it is not to blame any bhoots anymore and play about, but try. Get your heads cleared out. By your heart being cleared, your head will be cleared. It's only through your heart you will get a clear idea as to what is to be done. And the innocence. If you start respecting others, other things, innocence will come in. That innocence only comes through respect. People don't know this. So when he said, Mother, how to get back our innocence? It's simple. Respect yourself. Your chastity you respect first of all. Respect your chastity. Respect others' chastity. then others' things, others' relationships. Respect your relationship with others. He's a Sahajogi, you are a Sahajogi. He's a saint, I am a saint. I have to respect. And then see the joy and the love. This muddle-headedness has brought also another problem is today that my bank was very angry, you see, because I don't know how you people reach there with a cash money or something there to pay. That should not have been done. The simple thing is that you have to buy $8 thing and pay it there. And the bank people couldn't understand how did I have relationship with such bank people. They called them strange also. So the simple thing was to make it into dollar. It would have cost £2 more. But that's another thing is that money saving devices also. They are quite experts. Immediately if I tell somebody now, you go and get so much of, say, paint. Say, paint is an example. I'm just giving. So they'll say, but there was a tin available. They'll come back. But that tin was so much and this tin was so much. So I said, what's that? Bring the big tin. No, but this one we can return if it is finished. That one we cannot. I said, now bring the big tin. Now what does it matter? You see, in a paint, in a house like this, such a huge thing, a little paint more. But so much of understanding, you see how much you can save in that, how much, I mean, save pound is another, everything blowing in our head. Save pounds, you see, read any advertisement, save pounds. In spending pounds, you really save pounds. You don't understand the trick, but you all the time think, what is the saving part? Where can we save? See, where can we cut? This is a waste of energy completely. Just waste of energy. If you go on thinking like that, you'll go mad at it. Because Sahajogis cannot do that. You will see that money comes very easy to people if you are relaxed about money. But if you try to save money, you will never save, and that's why in England people cannot save pounds. Because they just see the advertisements. Any advertisement like that, save pounds must be avoided completely. In Sahaja Yoga, we have to believe that God looks after us. It is He who is going to do things for us. If you put your attention to saving money, then God doesn't bother about saving your money. You know that miracles have happened about money for so many people. Like I went to Patrick's place, I'll tell you. Patrick, you see, I asked him, Patrick, you never received any money? He said, no, mother. I said, don't tell me lies. Did you receive any money? He said, no, mother. I said, are you sure you never received any money? Then he came out with the truth. Yes, I found $1,000 kept on my table, one packet. But that was, I thought that would be a good beginning for him to see. But he went round, the other way around, he thought that, oh God, mother loves me so much and she thinks too much of me, so now I can go ahead. So he started going like a, I don't know, what should I compare it to? A bull or what? Just he became a big great man, a brigade leader, everything, he got bloated up, see, he started rising like a balloon rises in the air, like that it happened. But if you have depth, and if you have your Dharma, and if you have Ganesha with you, then you go deep. Oh, mother has done this. What a miracle. How she has achieved it. Who is she? How did she do? She looked after us so well. Go down. And you don't float in the air like a balloon. So, this is what one has to understand. This is another conditioning we have of saving money. Let's save here, let's save there, let's save. Ultimately what you find? No money to go to India. Last minute, borrow from here, borrow from there, go to the thing, get it. So trust in God. God will look after you. You have to have trust. Trust in others. Trust in everyone. I trust you. I always trust you. Beyond any trusting that is possible. For everything. Today only somebody was there who told me that 25% prices have risen up in India. But I think the amount I have raised is how much it is, I think.
$25.
That is how much it is.
5%.
5% money I have raised. So Warren was rather worried, Mother, how will you manage now with 5%? I said, I'll manage. Because I have trust. I have trust that I can do it. I can trust myself and I can trust you. So this is important that you have to trust each other. First of all, trust yourself and trust others. I trust only you can work out wonders. If you don't trust people, doubt everyone, you cannot work out. It makes the whole organization very, very good. So try to trust each other. I know there could be a wrong person. I'll take that person out. I know who it is. You just don't worry. But you try to trust and don't worry as to what is going to happen. Trust yourself and trust the God Almighty. Because He's the one who is going to look after us. Yoga Kshema Bhamya. If you have the yoga, you will get the Kshema. Yoga must be established, so you get the Kshema. The second part of it is not first. The first is yoga. Establish your yoga. And then you will be amazed how things work. And so many people ask me that, Mother, why only in England this problem exists? There is unemployment all over the world. There is a problem everywhere. But the last minute is business of going to courts. Imagine, courts is in England. England. Well, we've got money already paid. Even from Vancouver and from Australia. All paid long time back. While the English people were today queuing up in Coutts and Company. And the Coutts and Company became mad. And they said, what sort of thing it is, Mother? We don't want to have your accounts here. So what is the reason for that? That we have not trusted ourselves, we have not trusted others. Some people told me that they made a mistake, they forgot about it. How can you? So this messy nature must go away. You have to be systematic. You have to be systematic about Sahaja Yoga. As you have now started meditating in the morning time and doing all those things, I'm sure the system will work out. The system of God should be there. And it so automatically works out. In 3 days we have planned such a big, huge ashram. In 3 days. I mean, in 1 day I planned, of course. But in 2 days we've drawn it and finished. 2 days you took? 2 days. Such a huge plan. You can't imagine. If you see it, you'll be... Have you got it with you? You haven't brought it. Otherwise you'd have shown. With 4 floors. And very beautiful architecture and Greek design facade.
6 floors in 4 floors.
6 floors in 4 floors. And a beautiful place. And everything organized. So how? I mean, I'm not an architect. I'm nothing of the kind. But it was all done. In the same way, you can all have those powers. You have to just assume that you are saints. You must know you are saints. And behave the way you are a saint, accordingly it should behave your position as a saint. To live like saints, to behave like saints. It's not just what face you put up or what features you put up, but the temperament, the generosity, the kindness, the compassion, the love, the nourishment that you have to give to each other and to the whole world. If you cannot give it to Sahaja Yogi, you cannot give it to anyone. The first test is how far you love each other, the Sahaja Yogi. It's nice to see all of you here today on this great occasion. Also, I feel sad that I have to leave you now. I'm going to India. And I'm going to meet you there, all of you. I hope so. Many of you are coming down. Now to India, when you are coming, also come with a deeper inquiry. Because superficially, if you see, that country doesn't have your comforts, doesn't have this paper, room, may not have carpets. But it has got a heart. They have got a heart, a very large heart. And whatever they do it from their heart. If somebody is very superficial, can even ridicule them for their sincerity, can even make fun of them, that they are so stupid to be that sincere. I mean, according to modern ideas. But you have to develop that heart. A simple, innocent, giving heart, which enjoys, which has the fondness to do. I mean, I had to tell them now. The argument is the other way around. You will be amazed if I tell you the arguments were. Like when Modi came here, he said we want them to stay in Bombay. But I said, why? Bombay is an expensive place. No, mother, will bear half the expense, but let them stay. Why? You see, that's what we want. I mean, the whole thing was argument, you remember. We want to do something for them. They are coming to our country now. We want to make some nice things. You see, we'll make some nice food for them. I said, don't make overdo. Simple food you should do. No, mother, but that's the only chance we have to feed. And the whole argument was how they were for. Then they said, we should have, I said, have just 5 days in that place where Modi. So I said, at least make it 7 days. Please, 7 days. Because that will be easier. Poor things will be coming and then they would like to sleep for 1 day. After all, they would be tired. So 1 day is gone, 2 days like this, and the other group will be coming. So you see, they're just thinking how to make you comfortable, how to make you happy, what to feed you, what to do. But if you want to see something superficial, you might try to find some faults. And I have seen people spoil. People spoil. They spoiled so many surgeons by their overdoing, which was never understood why they did it. Now, gradually you are understanding. You have to become that kind of a personality that gives, that nourishes, that is fond of doing for others. What should I do? What should I buy for you? What should I get for you? You see, it's such a joy. You see, my special joy is in that. I mean, in America, I was at least 25% of time I was busy buying things because I have to give presents. And they said, "But what are you doing?" I said, I enjoy, just forget it. If I had time this time, I would have bought something for you people before going. Just I enjoy it. That's what, just enjoy giving. I wish you could just jump on the other side, other bank of this river and see the joy of giving. It's so great. It's much greater than getting anything for yourself. And with this idea you should go and see how they enjoy. If I tell them, a lady was there, she said that you must come and have breakfast with her. I said, I have at least 40 people with me. How can I come to your house? She said, no, we'll arrange. Don't you worry. So all the neighbors, you see, got up at 4 o'clock, prepared all the breakfast for us, everything ready. When we went, it was so beautifully organized. And those people who were with us, Gavin, we were there that time, I think. He's here. He's outside. So the first group, I think the second group was there. Gavin, you remember that lady who...
I came the day after my...
Day after that. You missed the point.
I know it. I know the story too.
Isn't it? And just imagine, and they were so happy. And they were so happy feeding and giving, and all the men were running, and you'll see this. You see yourself. And they never tell me any problems. Always solutions. They are there with the solution. You tell them now the problem is, you see, they want to go by a bus. Now, we can't afford to keep the buses for a long time. No, there's nothing, no need. We'll get you buses, they'll take you down there. You don't worry. Now, we have this problem. What to do? Don't worry, we'll manage, mother, we'll get it. All the time they are giving solutions to me, but here it's the other way, the problems. The problem, the sentence starts with, now today is a disaster. That's a disaster. The milkman has not come. Always something starts with a problem. Now, have you any solutions? Have you any solution? Only the persons who can think of solutions can construct. So remember, that is very common. And I get really pestered, sometimes I really get irritated. Everybody has some problems or some problems or some problems. And even if you give a solution, but what? I'm giving a solution, but it could be that, it could be this, but why don't you find out? I mean, they know all about it. Supposing you say, let's go by this road, but there could be a traffic. I said, but how do you know sitting down here? But at this time, this is this. Everybody is so knowledgeable with the ideas how to create problems and never solutions. Such a knowledge is useless, I tell you. Such useless knowledge you must throw in the sea. Not very near Brighton, because we are having solutions. So don't create problems. Don't create problems. That's very important. Is not to have any problems. Try to find out solutions and give solutions. So this language should be changed. The problem is this language we are going to change from today. And you'll be surprised, all problems can be solved like that. Only change your direction. Supposing you are straightforward marching towards problems. Then what can you do? I mean, even if you are a Sahajogi, no use. I mean, you are going towards it. But you just turn your face from the problems. No problem. Believe me, there should be no problems for you. Have you noticed that happening? Then, last of all, is to remember that you must understand your mother very well. And do not jump into conclusions of your own. And if you start jumping onto your own conclusions, you will really create problems for you. Firstly, you must know that Sahaja Yoga, we cannot make any money out of it. There cannot be any commercial activity on Sahaja Yoga. As it is, I am hopelessly bad as far as money is concerned. You ask him, he'll tell you. Those who have known me know that. I am hopelessly bad. I don't know even how to sign a check. Even today, I do not. When will I learn? I don't know. Maybe. Because this is entering into the 6th house, I will be even worse now. So, first of all, we are not going to have any time, any kind of commercial activity. And if you ever try it, I will see to it that you get liquidated. Completely. So, no commercial activity for surgery. No commercial thing should be started in the name of surgery. Like I've seen somebody, Nirmala Udyog in India, means Nirmala, Udyog means enterprise. I mean, this is not the way, this is not allowed. Or Sahaja Udyog, we cannot do that. It's alright, Sahaja Co-op, because Sahajogis are there in cooperative, but should not be a money-making proposition anywhere, any business, anything. Don't use the name of Sahaja. It will be spoiling it. It won't be good. So you must understand that should not be done. Secondly, your mother is an extremely practical woman. Extremely practical. So do not start thinking. You see, people get an idea. I mean, just now we had one example of that. That somebody said that I want to keep Queen's Park. I mean, this is something, even if I wear a hat, I won't think like that, I can tell you. Because I don't know how people jump into conclusions. And they'll say, mother said so. But this is another way of doing it. You must do the things that are practical. When I said you should not try to save money, doesn't mean that you waste your things. So one has to be very, very practical and pragmatic. And that happens because, you see, spirituality is the most practical thing. Surge Yoga, have you seen anything more practical than Surge Yoga? It's the most practical thing. But that doesn't mean that you go to the bank and start seeing vibrations there, standing on Oxford Street, seeing the vibrations there, seeing the vibrations of the balloon. This is stupid. This should not be done outside. Muslims also, when they do namaz, they look quite odd to me, that standing on the street sometimes, suddenly you find a Muslim, you see, spreading something and going up and down. It's stupid. It's sure. It's a sacred thing. On the road, I have seen people walking like this. What is this? People will think you are mad or what? So we have to be extremely decent people and understanding in what atmosphere we live. They don't talk our language, they don't understand us. So we should not be ridiculous. We look like punk rocks. So we have to be very decent, very poised people, affectionate, compassionate, soft-spoken, sweet, kindly, and alert. Or we put the alert first. That way we have to. I'm telling you because the new year is now coming. And in new year, what you have to do is to give up all that is nonsensical and take up all that is good. And that's why we have to see what's wrong with us. Now, last of all is that never get stuck on to any place. That is the best way to live in this world. Live like a traveler. In this short life of mine, whatever it is, in these 45 years or 40 years of my married life, not yet 40, I think it's 38, we have changed about 40 houses. I like it because it is sticking to any place. Now I have seen people get stuck to Surbiton now. They are stuck. They get stuck to Chelsham Road. As soon as you get a feeling that you are getting stuck, leave that place and get out of it. Then this is my house, then this is my Surbiton, then that is my Chelsham Road. That's not a sign of a saint. Saint is a traveler throughout. He doesn't stick to anyone. Now if I have to sell this house, I'll sell it tomorrow. At least feeling that what we have done about it. There's no stickiness about it. Then the fight start. Then Surbiton is my house. How dare you come here? You are like this. Chelsham Road is my house. I must do this thing for that. That's how you get it localized. You become malignant. No connection with the whole. This is just like a sarai. What you call to sarai is a caravan, a settles in a
You become the
sarai, a place where caravans go and settle down for a while. And
a
then,
little community of their own.
no. What community? The house. Huh?
Like an inn.
Inn, like an inn. It is an inn. It's like an inn. It is an inn. You are in an inn. You live there in the inn, and then you have to know that you have to go from this inn. Your house and abode is the kingdom of God. There where we exist, there where we live, and that is always with you. So what does it matter? These are all superficial things. It's not important. Now, because mother stayed in a particular house, so I have seen people running mad after the house. I mean, what? I am sitting here. What is the need to go to the house? It's like I told you the other day, like having my photograph, taking my bracelet from the photograph, and I am giving a lecture here. Unduly, we are paying attention to things which we should not. We should know that we are the temples of God. We are the abode of God. That God resides within us. The light has come within us. We have to be the beautiful temples of God. The most glorious place is yourself where God resides. So all that is not wanted should be thrown out of this temple. And make yourself that clean, beautiful temple where God would like to reside. Otherwise he'll disappear. And that is what is Ishvara Pranidhana, which we should try to maintain, establish and develop. And then it grows and grows and grows. The temple becomes a palace, and a huge big place where many can come and enjoy the bliss of your heart. Let's become like that. So today is a day of a pledge in a way in our hearts to say that whatever we do, we'll do from our hearts. Because we are on the soil of the heart of the universe. So this is a simple thing. You have to just ask the Mother Earth and she'll give you the power to do that. Once you start becoming there, all this messiness, all this unruliness and the unsystematic way, all this untidiness about life and everything will disappear. It will be a clear picture of the London surgeries. I think I've given the maximum time to you and the least to Australians. And I must say that they have proved so well. They have been so great. Never given me a problem. Never. Always a solution. In the same way, the London surgeries should, all of them, should become people who will give solutions and no problem. So the but has to go away from our English language.
अब हम श्री माता जी की आरती करेंगे। वी विल नाउ ऑफर आरती टू श्री माता जी।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। के दिल में हो माँ, नैनी के दिल में हो माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियारा माँ, कर दिया उजियारा। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधुर संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधुर संगीत सुन लो। कोई सके जो सेवा, कोई सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। निका कुंडलनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कलकी साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय। Nirmal